As you can see on the screen, this is a 5-year-old child in the body of a woman. It is about a dream. Today's theme is apt because it is about dreaming. And as a little girl, I had this dream to bring global peace, to be an ambassador of peace. But I didn't know that it was going to be through performing arts. Looking at these pictures, the years that have come through this body is literally 40 years of work. I started at 5, and today life has taken me on a journey with images that strike a pose resembling architecture and also mythological creatures from the past, from Hindu mythology. And who do I owe this to? Definitely my parents. They are my foundation, they are my pillars, and they are the structure of my thoughts, my mindset, and everything that I have created today. The story is about immigrants. My grandmother had to leave Kerala under desperate and very difficult situations in 1920s, came on the ship, settled somewhat into Malaya, and was given a job to help build the Malayan railways. Imagine an aristocrat having to save her life and the lives of her two young children. She settled here and she had 12 more children. Some of them had passed on because of the poverty and the struggles. My father would have been the 9th or the 10th out of the 12 children. Now that little girl that was looking up heard so many stories about a matriarch that struggled, that had the courage to leave her homeland, to want to have hope, to raise her young ones. She was already into culture and decided to spread her knowledge by raising her children. My father, growing up in poor circumstances, realized that education was important. With my mother, both of them raised us 5 kids with the structure of education, spirituality, and arts. And therefore, my template of what today's theme is, why don't we, was to stand for the rights for women and also for any young one who dared to try to live. And therefore, in my journey as a dancer, my father was particular in the gurus that came into my life, teachers. Yesterday was Teachers' Day. Every year, we pay homage to teachers. And so these are the 2 very important pillars again as teachers in my life as a Malaysian trained dancer. Krishna Kumari teacher was very strict. She had returned from Chennai, but I was not afraid of her, and I spent 7.5 years training to become one of the national champion winners in Bharatanatyam competitions. Master Ramli saw me grow and nominated me to become one of the students at Sutra Dance Theatre at that time. And I slowly developed an affinity towards Odissi, and I became his dance partner. Talk about courage. I had the courage to dare to do something that not many would, to dance next to the master. But it was love in my heart to appreciate the teacher's work. Therefore, I would be a new age, newer generation who took up this concept of Gurukulam. Gurukulam is when the teacher chooses the student, gets a promise from the parent, and has the student live in the teacher's house to study, pretty much like a university. in our terms, Gurukulam is important, where while you're living your personal life, you also study dance in a more serious manner. Two more words. Abhyasa. Abhyasa is practice. Performing artists, as we get the name, when we start as students, it's just once a week practice. Then it becomes 3 times a week. And then it becomes 6 times a week. I did 7 times a week. I was literally away from home. Then my family was wondering, is she crazy? Passion got to me. So it's passion, love, and action that mattered to me, that I needed to move on to, from abhyasa to sadhana. Sadhana became my second word. It was my passionate word. I needed to practice and practice and practice in order to get what I needed to understand from my teacher, perfection. As I got famous, things got hard. Celebrityhood got to me. I had very demanding teachers, but the choice was, do I pursue my higher studies and to leave for overseas? I was torn. I had to step back. I became slightly depressed, and nobody knew that. While I was appearing in the papers as one of the best, the most professional, she's so good, but nobody knew I cried in my room alone. I wanted to leave it all. But then there came this man, this Chinese wonderful soul, who's a journalist, writer, and he saw something in me, and he proposed to me. I said yes. And I got married. I opted to be in love. If you're not in love, who wants to live, right? So I chose love, and I immediately had a baby. And I realized something happened in me that brought the child that was dreaming back into her center, because there was love in my life. And when I had my baby, something in the universe drew this wonderful soul, this amazing spiritual founder, the Temple of Fine Arts guru, who saw the struggling soul in me as a performing artist and invited me to come to the Temple of Fine Arts to teach Odissi. He said something very important. My interview was not about what can you teach, what are your qualifications. He said, here is a place to heal. Use it as you want. Grow again, child. And that was important to me. I raised 3 more children, and today all of them are performing artists in this country. They are musicians and also dancers, and they are multi-talented. We are known as a Malaysian family in the arts. A lot of people write about us. My son is a musician, all trained in dance. So what can I say? The dream grew, and I am feeling it cannot be wrong to be in love. But at that point of my life, when things got really busy, and I'm the type that loves to do all my tasks myself, without any maids, without any help. So I was juggling, multitasking, and trying to be superwoman when I developed a health condition. I had atopic dermatitis, and I suffered for 17 years. Something that looked so beautiful and perfect on stage could no longer be under the lights. I could not wear makeup. I could not wear ornaments, jewelry. How do I tell this pain and suffering that I had? So I spoke to Swamiji, and then again he said something very beautiful. The dance is you. The ornament is you. It doesn't matter what you wear. Have a communication. It's your dance that becomes a language. It was revelation for me. Why not? Carpe diem. Why don't we? So I tried a new form of dancing, no makeup, no costumes, and I shaved my head bald. A lot of people were shocked. The traditional gurus were shocked. But it was a statement from me to challenge the systems that expect a woman to be beautiful, that expect an artist to be perfect, that expect women to have everything right. I was daring that statement. And as I dared to change some of the rules, I got noticed by the gurus in India, and my first award was not for excellence, but for service to the Southeast Asian countries for having taught nearly 8 to 10,000 students from my heart. I taught not only Odyssey, but I tried to improve their lives by talking about family, the value of family, the value of love, the value of communication. And so these awards came to congratulate me for the hard work of nearly 35 years of constant passion without taking a break through all the hardship. This was my latest award that I received last week. And being a Malaysian, the story was about an older woman at 56 coming back to limelight with her bandages, with her scars, not afraid to tell her story and dance as excellent as a young one. So, dear friends, I love Martha Graham. And today, for all of you, my gift actually is that I see the need to have performing arts be the tool to create empathy, to bring compassion to the world, and to unite people. So it is my wish and prayer that if it reaches 1 million people and a lot of children will decide that they can love and live and communicate with their parents, that is the dance and the dream I had looking up to the heavens, that I must be the ambassador of peace. Please receive my gift for today.